absolutely right if you guessed that each of these cable pulls was done faster, easier, and safer than experience tells you is possible. That's because a remarkable new technology was at work from Greenlee Textron. Now, in conjunction with Greenlee's highly successful family of cable pullers, there's a new product that takes much of the effort, time, and cost out of the other end of the pull, where the cable first feeds off the reels. As you know, feeding the cable from a series of reels into conduit or onto a tray can require as many as one person on each reel, one person gathering the cable, and another applying lube and feeding the cable. Back strains and fatigue are a frequent complaint. But Greenlee's new Ultra Cable Feeder solves all of these problems and much more. It's the perfect companion to a powerful Greenlee tugger at the other end of a pull. Here's why. It feeds cable automatically at variable speeds to match the speed of the cable puller. It can be operated using either a handheld pendant control or an optional foot switch. It can accommodate cable ranging in size from 1/4 inch to 3.5 inches in diameter, and up to 8 cables can be fed simultaneously. And it's remarkably easy to set up and operate. Telescoping handles pull out to make it easy to wheel the feeder to the job site. A retractable caster swings out for smooth surfaces by lifting on the handles. At the job site, the feeder is positioned between the reels and the conduit or tray. The feeder can be used with the reels in an inline configuration or with the reels positioned side by side. However, when set up side by side, the cables can be fed at a maximum angle of 25 degrees from the center line. Once it is close to the conduit or tray, but far enough to provide some slack, the cable feeder can be secured into place with a stiff arm boom, a length of 2-inch rigid conduit or IMC that inserts into a receptacle at the back of the feeder. The other end fits into a T to create the stiff arm boom, which can be pushed up against the reel stand, securing it in place. The feeder can also be secured into a foundation with 3/8 inch by 1/2 inch anchor bolts through holes in 4 anchor pads on the base of the feeder. Now you're ready to begin loading the cable into the feeder. This can be done with either of 2 loading methods. If it's most efficient in your workspace to load the feeder with the end loading method, release the upper drive unit ratchet, raise the unit up until it stops, and then raise the cable divider. Then feed the cables over the lower traction wheel. Remember, it's important not to cross cables. Now lower the upper unit by releasing the catch on the arm and pushing down on the ratchet handle until the catch is engaged. Now the ground separator can be rotated into place if needed to provide additional traction for smaller diameter cable. The cable divider should also be used to prevent the tangling of cable as it feeds into the unit. It's also important that the smallest diameter cable be kept to the farthest left side of the feeder. If it's more efficient to bring cable in from the side in your location, use the side loading method. First, unplug the upper drive motor cord and then release the ratchet by pulling down on the upper drive handle as you rotate it toward you. Remove the 2 clevis pins and then, with the help of an assistant, lift the upper drive unit up and off the lower unit. To load from the side, lift the cables into position on top of the lower drive unit. Then remount the upper drive unit, reinstall the clevis pins, and lower the unit until the ratchet engages. Now you're ready to begin feeding cable. All it takes is one man operating the feeder and another to lube and guide the cable into the conduit. The speed is adjusted with the speed control knob. It's best to start at a slow setting, so turn the knob to the 10 or 11 o'clock position and turn on the feeder at the control panel, the handheld control, or the optional foot switch. Once feeding begins, speed can be varied with the control knob, clockwise to increase speed and counterclockwise to reduce speed. This enables the operator to match the speed of the puller and minimize tension on the cables. When the pull is finished, just turn the main power switch off. When you're first getting started, here are a few things to remember to help ensure a smooth startup and operation. Remember to take up the slack between the reels and the feeder before beginning the pull. Always start with a speed set at slow. Switch the feeder on and off as little as possible during the pull. Instead, use the speed control to match the puller's speed. Also use the speed control to prevent the cable from becoming taut between the feeder and the conduit. These and many other troubleshooting tips, parts, and service information, plus vital safety precautions, can be found in Instruction Manual IM 1359, included with your Ultra Cable Feeder. Now the choice is yours. You can do your cable feeding the old way or the Greenlee Ultra way. It just makes more sense.